Hello everyone, welcome to Sgt-Maj Smoke. My channel is about barbecue, food, cooking, and of course, eating. I'm not a professional, just a regular guy with a passion for food and cooking. For those that are new to my channel, if you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe, and make sure to hit that notification bell to get notified every time I drop a new video. As for those returning, thank you, and it's good to see you back again. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, as I will read and respond to them all. And now, for today's episode. Welcome back everyone, welcome to another episode of Sgt-Maj Smoke. Today we're going to do a pork pick shoulder. Basically going to make pulled pork. I'm going to do my offset smoker. Using charcoal and wood as a heat source. I had one of my subscribers ask for some more detail, so hopefully this video has more detail. I've done a whole hog for pulled pork. Pork shoulder is pretty popular. Bigger one, smaller one. It should be good. I like a good pulled pork. This one is 2.076 kilos. Which is about 4.6 pounds, and it was $13.68 at Zehrs. Not the cheapest cut, but definitely not the most expensive one. So, looking pretty good. Nice layer of fat. I want some fat. Why? Because a lot of flavors in the fat. Take this bad boy out. And really, pork is something that I find very easily can be cooked. I keep most of my cooking simple, basic, normal guy. So this is, I guess, the bone-in shoulder. So I'm taking some Allen's apple juice. I like to inject my pork, as I did with the pork loin. Got myself a new injector, grill pump. See what this bad boy is. And I'm just going to randomly go across it. Looks probably like a cup, but it doesn't matter. I just kind of go. Just go across it. Obviously you're not going to inject in the bone. And all I'm doing this for, I've done it without injecting, I've done it with injecting, I've done it injecting the night before. It's about 6 in the morning here now. So it'll be on for a few hours, or sorry, be injected for a few hours before I put it on the smoker. It's really, to me, just a personal preference. I find it makes a difference. I find it makes the pork a little bit more juicier. You might not. Like I said, I've done it without it. In the end, I still think the product is good. Really, you got to find whatever works for you. That's kind of. I've also injected them with butter. The only two things I've done is butter and orange juice. I guess maybe a salt brine kind of mix up if you wanted to, but it's like whatever works. I just want to enhance the flavor. I give it a bit more. I got some basic pulled pork rub. I got this stuff from the Bulk Barn here in Canada, which is like a bulk food store for those that are not from Canada, don't understand. I want to give it a bit of rub. You can smell the garlic, the pepper. Just enough. It's not going to stick to the fat, we know this. Smush it all in there. I don't find it overpowering. I find it nice. but I've also done it with nothing. A lot of guys out there do it with salt and pepper, and that's cool too. This is just something that I happen to like. I tried it once. I said, "Hey, that smells good." Give her up. So, not going to bother getting in the fat, that's for sure. If this was bigger, I'm kind of jumping ahead myself, but I'm going to try to explain it. If this was bigger, a bigger shoulder, I would cook it with the pork side completely up. But it probably won't stand very well like that. I'll have to cook it down. I'd also cook it with the bone. This is bone in. You can get bone in, bone out. Bone in is kind of nice. It's also a good way to show tenderness. We'll look at that later. I'd put the bone towards the fire, or closest to the fire, as it acts like kind of a heat sink. So it's injected, rubbed down, let it sit for probably 2 hours in the fridge. I'll cover it up with saran wrap, and then we'll get in the smoker. Okay everyone, so I got the chimney going and it's just a-blazing. It's still a Royal Oak brand of charcoal, briquettes. These are easy lights, so I think there's probably lighter fluid embedded in them. Looks awesome. Doesn't really matter, the end result. It's going to flash off eventually. Lump charcoal in my box. This probably won't take long to get the temperature at all. And again, I'll be using wood to throw it on. So I just wanted to show you that. Next time we'll come back. I won't bother showing you the normal drill, taking the chimney, which is a really good way of initially getting your briquettes / charcoal on fire. I won't bother showing you putting it onto the lump charcoal and adding, well, I might add the wood, but just want to show you. It's still early in the morning. Okay, so I added the briquettes, which actually didn't take that long, to my lump charcoal. Added my piece of wood. Looks like it's taken. I'm going to close it up and bring the whole barbecue up to temperature before I get the pork shoulder on. I'm going 250 to 300 degrees, that range-ish. We're going to put the pulled pork on, away from the heat, just in case there's flare-ups. Awesome heat coming out of that. Just in case there's flare-ups, so I don't want to burn it. So keep it away from the flame, because the smoke, what does it do? The wood, the smoke adds flavor to the meat, but the heat itself that comes up, a little bit of science, right? Heat rises, goes across. In this case, because there's lots of room around the pork shoulder, because it's not very big, the heat will go below and above, cook it, and then up out the chimney, right, the point of least resistance. Obviously the chimney going out. So the heat is what does the cooking. The smoke gives it the flavor. The smoke itself doesn't cook it, but the heat does. Slow and low barbecue. So again, 250, 300-ish. I want to bring it to an internal temperature of 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I'll put the numbers up top, the conversion. Then I'll wrap it. Not sure how long it's going to take. What, 4.5 pounds, so maybe 4, 5, 6 hours-ish. Never rush when you're barbecuing. Take your time. I never used to, but I start cooking for internal temperature. So done this. One, to make sure it's safe to eat, and two, to get that desired consistency or texture. So we know the pork will be done at 145. Technically, you can eat it safe, but we want to bring it to around 205 cooked to be able to pull it. So we're looking at 250. That's pretty good. Okay, so good enough. You can just feel it.
I said about taking the pork butt, I'd love to cook it like this. Can I make it stand? I can. It's going to flop over. I think it's going to flop over. I'll try. I'm pretty certain it's going to flop over. Give her. So in this case, I'll put the fat towards the flame. Same deal. Let that burn off, if at all possible first. I'm going to use 2 prongs. Try to get to the center of the pork shoulder. Go. Okay. Not going to work out. The shift. You got to play with it. I don't plan on looking at it much. This will be a slightly different cook, as I'm not going to observe it much. I'm not going to spritz it with either apple juice or apple cider vinegar to keep it moist. I'm going to try to keep this as close as much as possible. I don't think it's going to burn up. I'm going to try to keep the fire low enough that it doesn't flare up and burn. That's this, fire management, right? So we'll poke our head in at the fire side of it, not so much the shoulder. I just want to let it cook. Keep the heat in. Again, every time you open it, you're letting heat out. You're just elongating that process. We don't want that. So, I'll probably come back in an hour, see how the fire is, or add more wood, and try to maintain that heat. Okay, welcome back. It's been about a half an hour. It's about -9 Celsius, which is about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. Look at our temps, 59, 66. So again, I want to bring it to 180 Fahrenheit. We're showing around 250, so we're probably really 225. Let's just take a boo at our fire. Oh yeah, still lots of heat. I won't add anything to that. I won't touch it. Again, I'm just impatient to cook, so I'm going to poke my head in. But I won't open the firebox. I want to keep the heat in there. I know it's not burning. I don't get the big flames, so we're good to go that way. Let's come back, like I said, every hour, check on the fire. So the temperature got really low. Still, 106, 115. But temperature got low. Now let's jump back up. Added some more charcoal. That easy light stuff is pretty easy to light. I just literally put it on with another piece of wood. Just to give you an update. We're not where we need to be yet. Again, we want to go for 180. We'll be back. So I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do. Open up just to get a picture, get a photo. So you see that charcoal ignites so quick, burns so quick. Good for starter. Might not necessarily be the best one for this, but I want to use briquettes and not hard. So see how the flames do come in. The pork shoulder is looking delicious, by the way. You can smell it. But I just wanted to show you. That's why I keep it away from the fire, because I don't want it to burn. 3.5 hours-ish. So temperature showing us 310 degrees. So probably around 275, 280, I'm going to say. The meat's 143, 148. Again, I want to bring it up to 180. Fire is good. I'll add a piece of wood here shortly. So let's take a look at... I know I'm opening up, I know. And see those juices dripping? Hopefully you can see. So the idea, once it gets up to 180 and wrap it, is to keep the rest of those juices in. So I want to make sure my water pot is full. Hear that sizzle? Because I, like I said, agree that it keeps the meat moisture, more moistness in the meat. I've also used apple juice in there before as well, so whatever I have. And we'll drop right back down now below 200. So, another log in. I'll just let that catch. That's why the air circulation, right? Fire needs oxygen. So once it catches, I'll close it back up again, and then I'll drive the heat up, because right now it's still hovering below 200. Okay. Like I said, it's been over 3 hours. And 3.5, but it's all good. We're getting there. Don't rush it. We'll be back. It's been almost 5 hours, like just shy of 5 hours. And we're at 165 at one probe, 171 at the other. Still, 6 degrees is 6 degrees. Keynote, we want to take it up to 180. Add another block of wood, a big honker, because we're really close before I wrap it. And once we wrap it, you're not going to get any more flavor infused into it. You're basically just going to cook it more. We want to take it to the 204, 205 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll convert it up top here. Okay, so it's a quick update. I'll show you when I wrap it. Pushing 181 degrees on the one side, 172. Close enough. I'll split the difference, 175. Beautiful looking bark on this bad boy too. What I'm going to do now is wrap it. Use a towel. I don't want to ruin that gorgeous looking bark. Smells absolutely delicious. I'll double wrap it as I normally do with stuff on the barbecue. I gently try to wrap it in 2 directions. Bring it a little bit closer. And get the probes in. Now I want to take it to 204, 205 degrees. Then I'm going to let it rest for at least an hour in a cooler. Okay, so the alarm went off. We're at 205. Yes, I have more food on there, but don't worry about that. Okay, I'll take this off. Nice and soft. Ooh. Wow. Put it in my cooler. Keep the heat in. Let it sit for at least an hour, just to rest. Then we'll check it out. Okay, so it's been in the cooler about 55 minutes. It smells delicious. Let's open it up. Wow, what juice is this? I always have it on the cutting board, so well, I just have it on the cutting board because it is hot. Wow, look at that bark. Oh, jeez, how loose is this bone? Oh, it's loose. Still hot as well. You know what? Got a string here. Cut that bad boy. Look at that fat. Layer of fat just come right off. Wow. I'm gonna have a piece of this before I do anything. See that smoke ring? Oh. Oh wow. Look at that. I probably could have cooked it longer. Oh my god, it smells so good. It's still hot. Like I said, it's been an hour, but it's hot. Beautiful. Apparently my dog thinks so as well. That's a big bone too. So you can see by having a big bone, or sort of having any bone, it does affect the heating. Right? Either disperses it or becomes a big heat sink and just, well, takes all the heat in. But that's awesome. Look at that. A little bit of fat, a little bit of meat. It took a while. It took about 7 hours maybe, not including the hour rest. Look at that. Look at that smoke ring. Almost like a pastrami, a corned beef. Super rich pork flavor. Really yummy. Sgt-Maj Smoke out.
Hello everyone, hopefully you enjoyed the video. The pulled pork was absolutely delicious. I enjoy making every so often, so I'll definitely do it again. Any ideas? Please put them below. Same with any comments. Let me know what you think, good or bad. I appreciate all the feedback, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Until next time, Sgt-Maj Smoke out.